Source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, cases of respiratory illnesses in kids are overwhelming children's hospitals nationwide.
Plus, an update on breaking news from earlier today. We'll have the latest on a school shooting in Missouri. But first tonight,
you know, when this sort of thing happens, it's kind of overwhelming.
The latest on yesterday's 2 wildfires that wreaked havoc in southern Lancaster County. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. The fires burned several square miles, taking 3 homes and injuring 2 firefighters.
many are saying the fires, which also caused evacuations, were the worst they can ever remember here in Lancaster County. We have team coverage on what happened yesterday and assessing the damage today. We begin with Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson. Mackenzie?
Representatives from several departments in Lancaster County spoke in a news conference on the latest updates about the wildfires yesterday. There was one fire near Firth and another south of the Olive Creek Lake State Recreation Area. The wind and dry conditions caused them to quickly spread, and evacuations were issued for people in the area. Because of the severity of the wildfires, the situation became an all-hands-on-deck fight to prevent as much damage as possible. At least 3 homes and several outbuildings were destroyed. It's estimated around 120 firefighters from 19 agencies responded to the fire, and we're told close to 50 law enforcement officers were also on the scene. Lancaster County Sheriff Terry Wagner says there are around 100 farmers who helped to create fire lines.
That speaks volumes for the volunteerism of the farmers and knowing what to do and just doing it. It wasn't organized at all, but it was well orchestrated.
Officials say they still don't know how many people were evacuated, but dozens of livestock and family pets are still missing. The Lancaster Event Center was open for people who needed to board livestock. Lincoln Southwest High School was also open for evacuees. 2 firefighters who were volunteers with Crete were injured on the scene. One suffered serious injuries.
He has 20% burns over his body. His left hand is degloved. And then it burns up the back of his legs to the small of his back, with the worst being in the back of his calves. Will need skin grafting.
Doctors estimate the firefighter will have at least a 1-month stay at CHI St. Elizabeth's burn unit. Wagner has been the sheriff since 1994, and he says these are the worst wildfires he can recall.
We were just talking about that. Not in my memory. I don't remember a fire of this magnitude occurring.
Sean Flowerday, a Lancaster County commissioner, says through the tough situation, members of the community really stepped up to support the brave people who are putting their lives at risk.
This community, as always, responded with courage and with generosity and with a commitment to one another. It really was a true team effort and a true community. I mean, the community spirit was incredible, and people got out there and did what they could to help.
By around 8 o'clock last night, the wildfires were contained. Investigations on what started the fire are still underway. We'll have much more on the fires for you tonight, and you can check our website, klkntv.com, for the latest information.
All right, Mackenzie Johnson with the latest for us on this big story. Appreciate it, Mackenzie. You know, one of the areas hit hard by the fires was the Olive Creek State Recreation Area.
About 6 square miles were burned there. You can see the charred land today, some of it still smoldering. This is near Southwest 100th and Panama Road. Once it reached the park, it was decided to allow the fire to burn.
If there's no houses, no structure, sometimes you just got to say, well, we're going to let that burn so we can protect this. Some of that you couldn't even get a rig into, or would you want to, because all the down timbers and the grass was taller than the pickups. You know, this might have been a good thing. Just let that burn.
The chief also said he believes after that fire cleared out all the dead and small brush, it'll be one of the most beautiful parks next year when the new grass and plants grow. And first responders did receive some help from the sky last night as troopers assisted with a relatively new practice in the state.
Channel 8's Veronica Barreto spoke with the State Patrol on how this new technology helped firefighters. Veronica?
And technology is having an important role in saving lives and properties during disasters like fires. Yesterday, the Nebraska State Patrol was able to assist firefighters with drones. How they did it, Trooper Matthew Moss tells us more.
Firefighters on the ground in Sunday's grass fires received some help from above.
Nebraska State Patrol's drones made it easier to find hot spots and fires in the Lancaster County area. They shared video that shows the technology from other fires across the state this year.
It gave the firefighters an idea where things were happening and how intense things were.
Trooper Moss described the work that drones do in events like this.
They were just eyes in the sky to allow a different perspective.
Moss said a Sunday night the drones were even helpful in preventing the loss of property and even life.
Last night there was once an incident in particular where the drone was up watching a fire approach a barn. They were able to call in a tanker truck to be able to attack that blaze. And even they made the comment that it was nice to have those eyes up that could see and identify the threat.
Moss said a drone works similar to any type of camera. What makes it different is that a drone can go up to an altitude of 400 feet. It makes it able to get an aerial shot to allow first responders have an idea on where the fire is going. During the night, they help with infrared technology to identify hot spots. The Nebraska State Patrol has been in the drone program for only 18 months, and they have been able to assist in multiple wildfires in the state. But Moss says there was something particular last night.
This was very much the same thing that we've done in the past. It was the winds, the weather conditions that made it a little bit more difficult.
Moss says that a year or so ago, the program was mostly a thought. Now they have over 40 pilots and over 40 drones in the state. The Nebraska State Patrol said they look into ways of improving the drone program and working together with other state agencies. Moss said situations like this allows the different departments appreciate their teamwork.
No doubt about that. Nice to see technology really helping out in these types of situations. Veronica, thank you. Well, yesterday farmers were forced to make quick decisions as the grassland fires spread.
The Lancaster Event Center welcoming livestock into their facilities to escape the hazardous conditions. The Event Center sheltered about 70 head of livestock last night, which included more than 25 horses. But by this morning, only a handful were left. Farmers were up early to give fresh food and water to their horses after a long night. From seeing clouds of smoke yesterday to the rain clouds of today, it was said that the sight was a welcome one.
It was like a breath of fresh air. I mean, I'm so happy that we got the rain, and it started raining, I think, south of us overnight too. So it really helps, I think, with the firefighters and the farmers to get the fire under control.
Word came around 10 a.m. from the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office saying it was okay for farmers to return home with their animals.
No doubt about it, the rain so badly needed. Rusty, let's go back quickly to yesterday. Those wicked, wicked winds. What were the highest gusts you saw?
Anywhere from 50 to 55 miles per hour were common in many places yesterday, and now things have really diminished as far as the wind is concerned. In fact, tonight we may not even see wind gusts that exceed 15 miles per hour. So here's a look at your forecast. Through tonight into early tomorrow morning, everything is really close to that 10 mile per hour line, and those are for wind gusts. So that's probably the best news we could have after yesterday. Interestingly, the high temperatures for today were in the 70s because that was at midnight. Everybody else in the 50s and even some 40s to the west. One of those backwards days where the high temperature happens very early in the morning. Looking outside right now, this is Schoen's Roofing in Beatrice. Lots of sunshine. Finally, it was a gray and cloudy day. There's the cloud cover, and even the precipitation has moved off to the east, but it was around for a good portion of the day. And how about that? Some light snow trying to fall into parts of the Panhandle, western Cherry County into Sheridan County. But temperature-wise, much cooler to the north and west. Well, actually, it's cooler everywhere, but 30s in parts of the Panhandle, 50s for just about everybody else, 40s, though, in Omaha and Nebraska City, where the sun didn't quite break out as early. The wind, thankfully, much lower for central and eastern Nebraska, still up there in western Nebraska. Look at that in North Platte, 44 mile per hour wind gust out of the north and west. For tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures that will start off on the cold side, right around the freezing mark. Plenty of sunshine should get us back to normal in the lower 60s tomorrow afternoon. It looks like normal is going to be around for a while, too, for temperatures. There's a precipitation chance as well. We'll take a look in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Rusty. Now to heartbreaking news out of St. Louis, Missouri. Two victims died in a school shooting that happened this morning.
A teenage girl died at the scene and a woman was pronounced dead at the hospital. The shooter also died at the hospital. It happened at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School, which is near the city's downtown. Police said 8 people were taken to the hospital. Their injuries ranged from gunshot wounds to shrapnel injuries and a report of cardiac arrest.
How the officers arrived quickly, made entry with no hesitation, went directly to the sound of gunfire, which is the expectation not only of the department but of the community as well, to protect our kids and our teachers in these schools that should be considered safe.
The suspect has not been identified but is described as a male about 20 years old. Now to Michigan, where accused school shooter Ethan Crumbly faced a judge today pleading guilty to all charges.
Prosecutors say the 16-year-old killed 4 of his fellow students and injured 7 others back in November of 2021. ABC's Rena Roy has the very latest.
Yes, sir. You understand that you will be pleading guilty to count 1, terrorism causing death.
One by one, 24 charges read aloud by a Michigan judge.
With first-degree murder.
Accused school shooter Ethan Crumbly pleading guilty to all of them.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty? Yes, sir.
The 16-year-old suspect admitting to killing 4 of his fellow students in Oxford, Michigan last year and injuring 7 others.
Just getting the guilty plea alone, I know for my own child, I think that lifted 1,000 pounds off his chest so he does not have to stand there and testify and relive it again.
Among the charges, 4 counts of first-degree murder and terrorism causing death. The teenager now facing life in prison.
The prosecution is trying to make a point here. This is no different from international terrorism. This is terrorism. You are frightening the community.
Crumbly was also asked to confirm that his father bought him the gun he used in the shooting.
Is it true that you gave him your own money to buy that firearm? Yes.
And that the weapon was kept in an unlocked safe.
Yes, it was not locked.
The state charging his parents, arguing they ignored a lot of red flags. Prosecutors also allege they tried to flee. They're facing 4 counts each of involuntary manslaughter, the first time parents have been charged in a school shooting.
There's everything here to say that these parents should be held responsible, and it will send a message to other parents when you have issues like this. You need to take accountability for it.
The parents claim they did what they could and should not be held criminally responsible. Both have pled not guilty.
Because Crumbly is a minor, parole could potentially be on the table. His sentencing is set for next year, and victims will have the opportunity to read statements. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And coming up, as respiratory illnesses rise in children, health experts are sounding the alarm heading into the winter months.
What to look for as parents and your full forecast after the break. Now to the urgent warning for parents amid the rise in respiratory illnesses overwhelming children's hospitals nationwide. 43 states are dealing with the influx of cases. Some of those facilities are being pushed to capacity.
ABC's Morgan Norwood has more on the symptoms parents should be on the lookout for.
As the rise in respiratory illnesses in children continues to stretch out across the country, health experts are sounding the alarm heading into the winter months.
We're talking about COVID-19, influenza, and RSV, and these other viruses that are making children sick. And remember, a lot of children have not been in schools without masks for 2 years, so they don't have natural immunity.
Right now, hospitals in at least 43 states and the District of Columbia are grappling with rising cases. 75% of an estimated 40,000 pediatric beds are now filled, and it's the highest it's been in 2 years.
Emergency departments have been full, our hospitals have been full, our intensive care units have been full.
This health alert comes amid the ongoing threat of COVID-19. Though the CDC is reporting early cases and seasonal flu cases in most of the country, the southeast and south central areas are seeing the highest levels.
Flu has a PR problem in this country because we think it's just a bad cold. Influenza kills tens of thousands of Americans every single year, and right now we're seeing cases go up earlier than they have in the past. Not really a surprise because we're more out and about.
And then there's RSV. It's a virus which is most common in the winter months, but it's also the leading cause of hospitalizations in all infants and can be life-threatening to babies and toddlers. Katie Kernick is a mom and pediatric nurse. She rushed her son to the hospital when she noticed the symptoms of respiratory distress, which doctors say included labored breathing and flared nostrils.
Any parent seeing their child not being able to breathe properly is very scary.
And health experts say children under 6 months and kids with pre-existing lung or heart conditions could be more vulnerable to RSV. With a potentially tough flu season expected, they stress that it's more important than ever to keep kids up to date on their flu and COVID vaccines. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
So a very early look at the forecast for the game this weekend. It's looking really nice. Kickoff right around 2:30. Temperature should be in the lower 60s, around 60 degrees by 4 p.m. and dropping into the 50s as we get closer to sunset. Looking like a really nice weekend for football. Precipitation-wise, it was nice to see. Not everybody saw it, and I know there's many of us, many, almost all of us, that are wishing for things like this to happen just about every day all over the state of Nebraska. But as it stands today, 1/10 of an inch in Lincoln, about 1/4 of an inch in Beatrice, Nebraska City, Falls City, around 3/10, Omaha at 2/10. But you zoom out and you can see that just about everybody else was dry. So this was really confined to southeastern Nebraska. And thankfully, there were some spots that really needed it because of the fires yesterday. So that helped. Look at this. This is fantastic. Groundworks camera on top of this is right on top of the tower at Channel 8 Southwest Lincoln. Gorgeous. I mean, should I continue doing the weather or just watch this for the next 2.5 minutes? Because this is one of the coolest shots I've seen in a very long time. It looks like a painting, and this is real. And then the Penner Bathing Solutions in Aurora, the flag just kind of gently flowing, nothing. Yesterday it was like this, just straight out. And today it's so much better. It turned into a decent day. It really did. Temperatures on the cool side though, between 50 and 60 degrees. 40s though off to the east. 55 in Lincoln. 57 in Grand Island, one of the warmer spots. This is a lot colder than we were yesterday by a good 20 to 30 to almost 35 degrees. 35 degrees colder in Omaha. 34 in Nebraska City. 28 degrees colder in Lincoln. And everybody is just colder than we were 24 hours ago. Almost 40 degrees colder in O'Neill. Chill in the air. The wind, thankfully, not a problem today. It's out of the north and west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wind gusts, sure, a little bit off to the west, anywhere from 20 to 40, 44 mile per hour wind gusts in North Platte. So much more wind off to the west, much less to the east. Look at this. This is what was over us all morning, has since moved to the east. Now it's wrapping around, and some snow trying to move into the panhandle. This is western Cherry County. We'll look at the rain over here first. Cloud cover starting to come to an end. Rain off to the east now, but the snowfall in Cherry County near Gordon, my hometown, and wasn't shattering earlier, and now everything has pushed off to the east. I did take a look at some of the NDOT cams. A little bit of snow showing up on the roadways in western Nebraska. Cold front moves out of here. High pressure is going to return by Tuesday morning. Lots of sunshine expected across the entire state. That will eventually kick on off to the east. A few clouds try to follow it as we head into Tuesday night. So tonight, temperatures very close to the freezing mark, which isn't abnormal for this time of year. A little below average, but not by much. 33 in Lincoln, clearing those clouds out and getting a little chilly. 62 is exactly where we're supposed to be this time of year, and that's what we're going to have. Northwest wind at 10 to 20, mostly sunny. It's about average, kind of like me. 63 degrees on Wednesday, scattered showers, a good bet for that on Thursday. A little cooler because of the added cloud cover. Lower 60s continue Friday, game day Saturday, Sunday and Monday into the middle 60s for Halloween. And then we stay fairly mild as we head towards the first day of November. And then notice I have on Wednesday and Thursday precipitation possible. I'm not saying what kind, because I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Temperatures dropping close to that freezing mark, and if there's rain possible at that point in time, well, I digress. We'll talk about that later. The next several days are going to be nice.
Well, yeah, let's worry about those. But speaking of those winds yesterday, my husband and I hadn't gotten to raking up all of our leaves that had fallen, but a lot of our neighbors had on Saturday. And then Sunday, our leaves got shared with everyone.
Oh, no.
You know, they were just
Did you leave them a little
everywhere.
present, did you?
Yeah, so everyone has a few of our leaves now.
Supposed to go,
So nice of
sorry.
you.
We'll get to them. All right, thank you, Rusty. A positive day today on Wall Street. The Dow gaining 417 points. NASDAQ is up 93. S&P also adding about 45. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Finally tonight, the first baby bison has been born in the UK's rewilding program, making it the first born in the wild in the UK in thousands of years. But this fluffy baby bison isn't just adorable.
Look at him go.
It's also an asset in Britain's plan to fight climate change.
2 charities are leading a 5-year project to reintroduce European bison into the UK. They hope the animals will function as ecosystem engineers, helping to restore their own natural habitats, increase biodiversity, and combat climate change. The birth was a welcome surprise for the rangers, who did not know that one of the female bison were even pregnant until she was released into the wild.
I think it's just fun watching that calf run around there.
Mom's just exhausted standing in the middle.
Exactly. All right, let's get a final check of the weather with Rusty.
We have a couple of nice days in store. Dry, but we do have rain in the forecast on Thursday as well, much cooler. But temperatures should be in the lower 60s this time of year. That's exactly where we're going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. A touch cooler, though, with added cloud cover and another chance for rain, which would hopefully more of us see it on Thursday. But at least it's a chance. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s on Thursday.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for being here with us.
World News is next, and we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
We only do one thing at Comfort Made Mattress Factory, handcraft the highest quality mattress possible. It's backed by a lifetime comfort guarantee. Come see us.
Closed cap.